April 26, 1986. 1 to 23 a.m. Reactor 4 explodes at Chernobyl. A blinding blue light rips through the night. The promise of progress is shattered. Every modern device, control panels, phones, radios, goes dead. Pripyat is plunged into an electronic dark age. Amid chaos, one device survives. A Soviet R-105 military radio. Heavy, hand-cranked, powered by vacuum tubes, it endures. Its simple, robust design makes it immune to disaster. The only link to the outside world, the only way to call for help. The night Chernobyl's future died, an old radio became a lifeline. This is the essence of Grid Zero. Resilience through simplicity. Chernobyl's disaster wasn't just mechanical failure. It was a collapse of trust in modern systems. The plant's advanced electronics, meant to guarantee safety, were instantly destroyed by an invisible force, an electromagnetic pulse. This pulse surged through every wire and circuit, frying delicate silicon chips in a flash. The plant's digital displays and alarms all went dead. Our world is built on fragile microchips, defenseless against raw physical forces. The silence that fell over Chernobyl was a warning, a message about the hidden fragility of our technological world. The ghost in the machine is fragility itself, and it haunts us still. After the explosion, radioactive smoke fills the air and the ground trembles. Inside the control rooms, engineers stare at dead screens and silent panels. The hum of electronics is replaced by an eerie, absolute silence. Across Pripyat, homes go dark, radios and phones lifeless. The city is cut off, isolated, unaware of the invisible danger. Every modern system failed at once, all sharing the same fatal flaw: fragile semiconductors. The electronic silence was total. In the darkness, the limits of modern technology became painfully clear. Amid the blackout, one engineer remembered an old radio in a civil defense locker, a Soviet R-105. Not sleek or modern, but built for war, heavy, rugged, and powered by a hand crank. No batteries, no grid, just human effort. As he turned the crank, the radio's vacuum tubes glowed to life, immune to the EMP. Static gave way to a faint voice, the first connection to the outside world. Through this relic, the true scale of the disaster was finally reported. Evacuations began, and help was mobilized, all thanks to a 44-year-old machine. The engineer's quick thinking and the radio's resilience saved lives. Modern technology had failed. Survival came from simplicity. The R-105's design, focused on reliability, proved its worth in crisis. In the end, it wasn't the newest device that mattered, but the one that could endure. Sometimes the past holds the key to survival. In Chernobyl's darkest hour, an old radio spoke for the future. Why did the old radio work when modern devices failed? Its heart was the vacuum tube, sturdy, glowing, and able to shrug off electrical surges. Modern devices rely on tiny, efficient transistors, but they're fragile. The EMP was a tidal wave. Vacuum tubes stood firm. Transistors were swept away. The Chernobyl disaster proved that sometimes old tech is the only tech that survives. When disaster strikes, it's the sturdy, simple heart that keeps beating. The R105's survival wasn't just about vacuum tubes, it was about independence. Modern devices depend on a fragile chain power grids, batteries, supply lines. Break any link and your device is useless. Chernobyl broke every link at once. The R105 needed nothing but a hand to turn its crank. Human effort became electricity. No grid, no batteries, no waiting. This self-sufficiency is the foundation of true resilience. When all else failed, the engineer became the power source. The radio was ready, powered by the only resource left: human will. In a world built on convenience, we forget the value of independence. The R105's design freed it from the web of dependencies. When the grid collapses, only self-reliant tools endure. Power in your own hands is power that can't be taken away. In crisis, independence is survival. The R105's strength was its simplicity. Open it up and you'd find a handful of large, understandable parts. Fewer components mean fewer things to break. Its design was straightforward, easy to repair even in the field. It did one job and did it reliably under stress. Modern devices are packed with millions of tiny parts, efficient but fragile. The R105 was built to survive drops, shocks, and rough handling. Physical toughness is often sacrificed for sleekness, but in crisis, durability matters most. Simplicity also means understandability. Any engineer could fix it with basic tools. Modern tech is a black box. When it breaks, it's gone. The R105 gave users control and confidence. In survival, simple is genius. The Chernobyl radio embodies the Grid Zero principle, a blueprint for resilience. Grid Zero isn't about rejecting technology, but about preparing for its failure. It means designing systems that work when the grid, the internet and supply chains are gone. 3 tenets define Grid Zero: simplicity, independence and survival. Simplicity, fewer parts, easier repairs, like a manual can opener versus an electric one. Independence, no reliance on external power or networks, a hand-crank radio, a magnetic compass. Survival, prioritize toughness over convenience, a cast-iron pan over a non-stick one. Grid Zero tools work when everything else fails. They're heavy, maybe inefficient, but they last. When survival is at stake, reliability matters more than convenience. The R105 is a perfect Grid Zero device. In a world of fragile systems, Grid Zero is the path to true resilience. Choose what endures. The lessons of Chernobyl are more urgent than ever. Our world is more complex, more interconnected, and more fragile. Everything, finance, food, communication, depends on delicate digital systems. We live in a glass palace, forgetting how easily it can shatter. Power outages, cyber attacks, even solar flares could bring everything down. We've lost the skills and tools for a Grid Zero world. Chernobyl was a warning: convenience breeds fragility. The smartphone in your pocket is a marvel, but it's helpless when the grid fails. Old technology isn't nostalgia, it's insurance. Knowing how to use a hand-crank radio or navigate by the stars is survival knowledge. The most advanced solution isn't always the best. True strength lies in simplicity and independence. Remember the R105. When the modern world fails, only the resilient endure.